Hey guys,
and welcome back to the Tech Buddies podcast. And this section of this episode, we are going to be talking about a lot of heavy hitter topics, the interesting ones. Maybe you didn't want to hear a lot about mid range phones, and maybe you wanted to hear about something different, maybe some new products in the tech industry and stuff. So this episode,
future products.
some future products. In this episode, we'll be talking about starting off with something we cover usually, but not as often, and that's cars. And you might be
And you
wondering
might
why
be
we are talking
wondering
about it.
why we are talking about this. So I'll say that, but that's because the MG Windsor EV. First of all, it's an EV, so it's kind of tech related. And the other interesting part about this vehicle is that they have launched battery as a service model. So we'll try to understand what that is together. I think Gautam can take over.
Yeah. So for those of you guys who don't know, MG is a British car brand which is now Chinese, and they have a like a membership, like a joint coalition in India with the GSW group. So it's Indian and Chinese at the same time, and they've been a big player in the EV scene. Uh, I think they're the brand with
MG
the
Comet.
second most number of EV products are right after Tata when it comes to
Tata.
consumer EVs, not the luxury line. And they started off with the ZS EV, which is basically an electric vehicle version of their Aster EV, and then the MG Comet in between there. So the MG Comet, I think we had discussed it before in uh, an episode or maybe like a part of a video. And the whole problem with the car is it was very, very pricey, which is obviously the case with a lot of EVs. And uh, here MG released a new car, and you can see the interiors. It's very premium, very Chinese EV like because of the premium interiors. In fact, it is a Chinese EV by some other Chinese brand that MG has acquired the rights to, and they are releasing it in India. This car is first of all, it's a big car. To put in perspective, it's bigger and wider than the Innova High Cross, even though it doesn't look like it. It has a big windshield and things like that, and this is one of the first few cars in this price range that is coming as just an EV. If you check it, Tata's lineup of EVs, most of them come as an internal combustion engine car also. So after the MG Comet, this might be one of the first few cars that are coming just as an EV, and its design is very oriented towards the EV also. When MG launched this car, so now we're getting to the main part. The ZS EV, I mean the Windsor, came with a starting price of 9 lakh, and you guys have to see the interiors like how Atharv is showing for a price of 9 lakh. Now here's the catch: it comes with this service called battery as a service. What does this mean? This means that you own the car, but the battery is under a lease under multiple companies. You can choose which company you want to get it under a lease under. So you own the car, but the battery is not owned by you. And this, in fact, this MG is not the first brand to do this in India. There is, I might get a bit, I might speak quite a bit about this because I did do research before this episode. But yeah, Mahindra did it with their with their Reva when the Reva brand was under existence. That also had a battery as service plan, and uh, also Ather had also done it a while back. So the whole thing with this is if you're buying an EV, the number one concern you have as an EV owner is uh, like after a few years, what if my battery gets an issue or something like that? Here you have to let go of that worry a bit because you don't own the battery. The company owns the battery. The company bears all the costs. So basically, after those 3 years, you get a new battery or something like that. So there's also like a agreement. So each brand also they change the agreement. But yeah, here's why I feel it might not work in India. Indians have a very specific car is not a tool seen as a tool. It's more seen as an it has an aspirational value to it also. And the fact that you're not fully owning your car might not sit right with some people, but hopefully I'm proved wrong because I am a fan of this whole battery as a service scheme because it reduces the operational cost for you overall. If you're a person that does not drive that much, it makes sense for you. The upfront cost is also lesser. It can maybe bump you up to a higher segment of vehicles just because of this less upfront cost. And overall, the car is actually a really good car. So the way this works is you don't pay for the battery. whereas and you pay per kilometer for the battery. So like I think it was at first it was like for the MG Comet it was 2.5 rupees per kilometer. Here it might be 4 rupees per kilometer. With the ZSEV it's 4.5 rupees per kilometer. So per kilometer there is a fixed amount of money that you have to pay. Maybe it happens monthly, and that's how you pay for the battery. And in some places you have like X amount of kilometers you can drive, and after that you have to pay a surcharge on the battery. Uh, and this comes with a 35 uh, kilowatt battery, which is uh, it's like I mean 35 to 38 kilowatt battery, which is actually a downside because people were looking for the bigger 56 kilowatt battery, because then it would have been a solid contender. But overall, so here's the thing. First, when MG launched it, they launched it mainly as only battery as service vehicle. They said that this is only going to be a battery as service vehicle. And while people were excited, some people also were impressed by the car and they said, I don't really need this. The disadvantage with battery of services, if your battery now stops working or something like that, you don't want to pay that additional cost for a new battery or anything like that. You're basically left with a car that does not work. Also, there's a lot of issues when it comes to selling the car and things like that. You cannot do that upfront with the battery as a service. Same thing with Ather. People used to exploit the battery as service. Uh, yeah, assured buyback also comes with the car, by the way. With Ather also there was assured buyback, and the people used to exploit it. They used to like basically take the bike on like joy trips, fully rev it, ruin the battery, basically make deteriorate the battery, and then give it to Ather, and then expect to get a new scooter or something like that. And that's why Ather stopped it. Overall, for some consumers, I can see it being very useful for people, especially with the MG Comet, also for people that have low running costs for their vehicles, yet they're looking to go upmarket. Especially, I would say the MG Comet is good for like people that don't go out that often, but they have smaller families, older people. This would be a good option. The Windsor EV for people that have bigger families. You want to go in comfort, but maybe once or twice a month, or even if you're going every day, you don't go that far. This car is quite good in my opinion. But battery as a service, it's yet to see how MG is going to implement it, because everyone's very unsure of how they'll implement it or like what the terms are going to be. Yes, there is assured buyback, but there is also no surety that MG will be there in India next 2 3 years or anything like that, because the whole car uh, market itself is very uncertain. The government's trying to pressurize to make EVs into like give no subsidies for EVs and things, that make nothing special, make them as normal as petrol cars. They are trying to increase the amount of ethanol in petrol cars, and also hybrid cars are also slowly losing their basically whatever advantages they had price wise. That being said, for us, that is Atharv and I, we live in Karnataka, and Karnataka is getting some discounts on hybrid cars. So that is also one thing that's coming. But most people are saying, especially the people who are experts in the whole car, like automobile industry in India, they're literally warning MG and they're telling them to tread very carefully, because one, with all these discounts, if they kind of mess up, it's going to completely ruin people's experience with vehicles, and people take their cars to heart. And also another thing is that it will also change people's perspective on the MG brand. People will start looking at MG. They will stop buying MGs without discount, because MG is offering discount or these type of services, and then normal vehicles won't be able to do well. So that's everyone's take at the MG Windsor EV. We are yet to get a lot of information, because what I'm hearing from other people is that MG is uh, like they haven't even trained their own people very well on the battery as a service concept, and they are itself changing the terms and agreements here and there. So the car is there in most showrooms now, as far as I've heard, in the big cities. You can go check it out. If you I think most people will be impressed. It's a really good, it's like a car the size of the Innova but at the price of the Ertiga, and interiors are
They
also like
call
the
it
Innova.
they call it a CUV, crossover utility vehicle, but I assumed CUV was comfort utility vehicle, looking at what they've done in the interiors and stuff. But for those people who think that I'm ready to pay the extra cost for the battery and I want to own the battery completely, that there's an option for that, and that was why I was continuously displaying this pricing. So you can pay the full amount, and then you can own the battery yourself, and there's no the
Yeah,
BAAS model will not apply to you.
yeah, and do note that this is not on road. This is ex showroom. So for even for
Yeah,
the
this is
Excite
all
variant,
extra.
if you want to get it on road, it will definitely be around 16 lakhs, and the Essence would probably go up to 18 lakhs or something like that if you want to get it on road Bangalore. By what I have seen, how much they add for on road, so it would be that much. I think before we close this topic, I'm adding one more topic, which even I didn't tell Athar, but now it came into my mind when we were talking. Is basically Ola is still the. It was about Ola and its current state with the scooters, and Bhavesh Agarwal, the CEO of Ola, I think we didn't cover this, but Ola is releasing new bikes and things like that, and they completely copied their. I don't remember, but their art from Hero, and a lot of the claims and stuff are like just kind of preposterous. And the whole thing is he posted this whole thing saying that Ola is the number one brand, and I remember seeing in a video that people
Yeah,
were
yeah.
agreeing with him that Ola is the number one brand, but they're the number one brand when it comes to complaints in India with their scooter.
No,
And
the other thing was when they said number one brand in India, there
yeah,
was a
that is
star, and then the
excluding
star
China. Yeah, they have put.
excluding Chinese. Then people started trolling him, and then they're like, "I'm number one in my class, excluding all the toppers and things like that." So they were
Yeah,
getting
so
Ola was getting trolled for that.
yeah, so apparently Ola has is starting to they're losing their market share slowly. They're number
Yeah,
one right now.
they'll
They're losing their market share, but still they're at the number one position still, even though they're losing the market share, and they are getting a record number of complaints, 80,000 complaints, to the point where the customer service is not able to keep up, which is some people they have hired and they
yeah,
just have put as customer service. The showrooms are not able to keep up. In fact, Ola is renting areas just to put the bikes, so they've become like landfills for the scooters at this point. Tons of Ola scooters just sitting there waiting to be serviced. In fact, the thing is, Ola themselves are forgetting to service some scooters apparently, and people are having to call up and ask, and they're like, which scooter is this? They don't have any information for the scooter. In fact, a lot of people are
people.
getting riled up. In fact, a man in, I don't know if it was Karnataka or
Yeah, I was
Kerala,
coming to that.
set
Yeah, it was
fire to
Karnataka
a
only.
yeah, set fire to an Ola showroom, and the showroom burnt, and the scooters and stuff burnt. And this is the level at which Ola's taken these things. And in
and
fact, in our whole Ather versus Ola discussion itself, I was clear with Ather because Ather took these kind of things a bit more seriously. The,
and
they
the
understood the
funny part
customers a
here
bit
is
more.
Ola CEO Bhavish Agarwal claims that he works 20 hours a week. I mean, 20 hours a day, 7 days a week, and and the only thing he's able to come out is with promises. There's a new giga factory. We are going to do this. We are going to do that. But he's not able to solve like the simple problems. I think the less we talk about Ola is the better. Let's move on to the next topic. I want to talk about this phone which was launched, which is by HMD, which was the parent company of Nokia. They lost their naming rights for Nokia, so they are launching phones under their own name. They launched two budget phones before, which we have covered, and now this is their third phone in India, HMD Skyline. This phone comes with a 6.55-inch, 144 Hz FHD plus display. It's powered by the Snapdragon 7S Gen 2 processor. You get a 108 megapixel main sensor with OIS, a 50 megapixel telephoto, and a 13 megapixel ultra wide camera in the rear, and a 50 megapixel selfie camera. You get a 4600 mAh battery with 33-watt wired charging, 15-watt wireless charging, Android 14 out of the box, 12 GB RAM with 256 GB storage. I think there's only one variant, and it's priced at rupees 35,999. I think the price is still a bit off, but at least they're trying, and the phone looks decent. I don't know why did they make this decision to include, like, it looks pretty weird from this, but apparently this phone is also pretty easy to repair, and that's one of the um, things HMD will try to include. Um, yeah, overall, I think it's a decent phone. If you were a user of Nokia phones and you really liked it, then you might like this phone. Moving on to back to one of the bigger topics, and if we um, talk about that, I think we'll quickly cover the iPhone news because that's
Yeah,
something
I can
interesting.
I can cover the
Yeah,
iPhone
you can do that.
repairability thing. So the iPhone 16 has been out for a bit now, and the reviews are very
Mm.
mixed this year. Matter of fact, the sales are not quite as good as what Apple expected for it. That's what the reports are saying. But there are a couple of innovations in repairability, and there are also some not so innovative things that they have done. But yeah, iFixit has seen that in their latest tests of the new iPhone 15 and the iPhone 16. The iPhone 16 comes with a new, uh, I would say, electroconductive type material for the adhesive. Not conductive is maybe not the right word, but when you pass like a specific amount of current towards that specific part of the phone, it's able to remove the adhesive in the back. And in the previous gen of iPhones, people had to pry like a syringe under the battery. They had to spray like isopropyl alcohol to get the battery out. And now you can debond that adhesive just by passing current, making repairs and removing the battery itself a lot more easier. This is a very dangerous process. In fact, if you any bend on the lithium battery could cause a fire. So just this being there makes things a lot more easier for like very quick battery replacements from Apple's side. That and the now 15, I mean the 16 Pro now comes with a battery with a cover, a metal cover. So that is very very different. So it has a hard steel case actually, instead of a soft pouch like how the 16 has. Like it's not a soft silicone type, not even, I won't say it's silicone, but it's a steel cover. And maybe this also improves the whole uh, thermal conductivity of the phone. It maybe removes the heat of the battery a lot more quicker because it's a metal cover instead of any other material now. And this makes things a lot more safer also for third party uh, repairers, or even for Apple. It just makes things a lot more easier for them. So yeah, 5 cell battery, 5 watt battery you need. And then after that, you can just plug it in for your to your phone, and then put it for like, I think, 1 minute 30 seconds like the picture suggested. And then the adhesive gets loose, and then it's easy for you to just remove that battery. So that's really really nice. And the one phone that's unchanged is the iPhone 16. I mean, battery wise, is the 16 Pro Max. It still comes with the older adhesive and the older that steel thing. So that's that. I don't know why Apple didn't do that for the Pro Max, but uh, it's like that. But one thing is, the Pro generations, the Pro iPhones finally have gotten the upgrade, like the base models also, where you can just remove the back panel by itself rather than having to remove the display in the front, which is even better because the ProMotion displays that are there in the 14 Pro, 15 Pro, 16 Pro, all of them are very, very fragile. In fact, I've seen a couple of people break their displays and things online also, and also in real life I've seen one 14 Pro display break. And the replacements are very expensive. The third party replacements are horrible. In fact, they make the phone unusable. So just this being there, if you have your back panel broken, it makes things a lot more easier for third party shops and even Apple themselves. So that is really really nice. But one thing this article did not cover is the new uh, capture button that Apple has put in their 16 Pro and 16 Pro Max, which is hotwired to the phone. So there's like, it's soldered onto the phone. So if you break your the panel of your phone or the frame of your phone, that also has to be replaced along with the frame of the phone. It's not a specific component by itself. So, and it's a part of the phone. So this makes repairability a lot more harder for the Pro models. And I think Apple should have reworked this a bit. But yeah, overall for the base model 16 users, repairability has gotten a lot more easier, and even for the 16 Pro users. But that capture button still lies to be a question whether it's going to pose any problems for the iPhone. I think we can move on to the next topic.
Yeah, should we talk about Meta first or nothing?
Meta. Meta NED, because this is a big product from Meta's.
Yeah, Meta had their Meta Connect event, which was on the 25th and 26th of September, and they announced a bunch of things. So first of all, their Meta AI, which is going on, they just got a bit more smarter and more useful. So now you can use Meta AI now has a voice. So now you can use your voice to talk to Meta AI on Messenger, Facebook, WhatsApp, and Instagram DMs, and it'll respond back to you out loud. You can get answers to your question, let Meta AI explain something curious, or listen to a joke to lighten the mood. One more thing they showed off was that you can now change the voice of Meta AI as well. So instead of being like a normal AI generated thing, you can maybe change the voice to some famous actor's voice or things like that. I think they showed that off. I don't find it on their website, but that was another thing. So basically, now you can interact with Meta AI using your voice. Meta AI can now answer questions about your photos and edit them in new ways. So basically, if you have a photo about your birthday cake or something like that, that was one of the things they have here on their website, and you can ask it the recipe for the cake, or if you have a picture of your pet and you want to um, change its background, or you want to um, add something to it, you can do that, which is pretty decent. There are more Meta AI updates on Facebook, Instagram, and Messenger. You can they are expanding Meta AI's Imagine features, so you can now imagine yourself as a superhero or anything else in feed stories. In feed stories and your Facebook profile pictures, you can easily share your AI generated images to your friends and things like that. So that's a good thing. This is or most of these features have already been implemented by Samsung um, in their thing. They are also expanding AI tools for businesses, so that's a good thing. It'll make it easier for businesses to manage orders and things like that, probably. So those are the updates to Meta AI. The next thing is they have launched a special edition, if I may call it that, for the Ray-Ban Meta glasses, and it's like a transparent version of the normal one for $100 extra, and there are limited units. So if you are interested in that, you have to hurry up to get it. There are some 13,000 units, if I'm not wrong, or 13, yeah, somewhat like that. So that is that. The main announcement, though, and which Facebook has been trying to do since a very long time. Zuckerberg says that they have spent $10 billion and almost 5 years of R&D to develop this thing, and it's called the Orion. You cannot buy it as of now. It's just like a prototype. It'll take almost, I think, 2 more years to get into the market. And these are like true AR glasses, and um, basically there are a lot of things in this. It's similar to the things that are there in the Apple Vision Pro, but it's very condensed. It's almost like a sunglass sort of a form factor. Like it's thick, but it's like a glasses form factor. Like you see in this picture, you have like a custom eye tracking system. There are speakers and batteries. You have silicon miniaturized sensors. There's magnesium alloy. Then you have a 70-degree field of view, I think, which is the highest in all of their other glasses. Um, they're using silicon carbide and micro LEDs. There's like a wave guide which enables the large field of view, and then so basically they've done a lot of innovation, and because they can't put everything on glasses to make because it'll make it like bigger, they have created this band sort of a thing which will come to your hand, which has all the sensors and all the it has the processor. They also have like a um, pill sort of a thing, which provides the charge similar to the Apple Vision Pro, but that was the other main announcement. And last but not least, they have launched the new Quest 3S for a price of $299. So that's pretty good thing if you want to try out VR or something like that before maybe you make a purchase to the bigger versions. Then you can buy the $299 one, try it out. If you feel comfortable, if you have any nausea, or if you feel any of those uncomfortable this thing, then you don't lose that much of your money than paying $3,500 for the Apple Vision Pro and stuff. So Meta, to their rebrand, are doing good in the metaverse space with the AR and VR launches.
I don't have anything to add. I was thoroughly impressed by the glasses though, and I saw all the demonstrations and stuff, and I
Yeah,
feel like this is what the Apple Vision Pro should have been, something that uh, is not so jarring to look at. It's something that blends in with your real life, and this is something that can actually pass off. I know the glasses are really thick and they might not look like your regular glasses, but still it can pass
yeah.
off as normal glasses. And I think it's crazy how Meta was one of the first few people to actually do this. I know the Google Glass and things are there, and the way they implemented to make everything wireless in itself is also quite impressive, considering the Vision Pro is not wireless and it has the measly 2 hours of battery life. So I think Meta has done something really nice, and now that we know that the Vision Pro 2 is coming on the way, I think it's interesting to see
But
how this is going to challenge the Meta product.
this will come out in 2026 and it's going to be really expensive
I
because
mean, the Vision Pro
the
2 is
current
coming out in 2025, so it's only 1 year difference
yeah,
between the two
but the
products.
Vision
So,
Pro 2 is going to be similar to the Vision Pro, which is going to have a new chipset apparently. Hopefully they make it a bit more thinner, but this is like a whole different form factor and we'll have to see when it comes out. Hopefully the pricing is digestible. I think that's what Mark Zuckerberg was even talking about in an interview with Cleo Abraham.
mhm,
He was talking about how to make it accessible to the masses, and that's why he's launched the Quest 3S at $299 and stuff.
mhm,
So hopefully we can expect like Meta to price it well when it
mhm.
comes out.
What is
Moving on, I
the,
think
yeah, S24
next
FE?
topic is a small topic in the middle is
Okay.
the Whoop watch, which is the watch you see all these athletes wear, be it Ronaldo, be it Virat
Mhm,
Kohli, they wear the Whoop watch, which tracks fitness and all those. It was officially not available in India. People used to import it. It used to like if you order it from the global portal, it will cost you 22,000 rupees, and it will arrive in India in like 7 to 10 days, and you have to pay like um, four. No, it costs 18K and you have to pay 4,000 rupees for the KYC clearance and the customs or whatever it is. They have launched it officially in India at a launch price of 26,990 and it's available on Flipkart. Um, there are few things here. The Flipkart, there's no warranty if you order it from Flipkart as compared to if you order it from them from their store. And there's also like 1 year replacement if you don't like the watch or something from their official website. But on Flipkart, it's only 7 day service center replacement. So it's ultimately better if you just buy it from their own website. Moving on to back to the big topics, we can talk about the S24 FE and the Tab S10 series which were launched. And as usual, the S24 FE is an overpriced mess right now, but during the deals when it comes down to 30K, everyone will celebrate. So, like I said, the S24 FE is launched in India and the price is 59,999, including offers. So, it's even more without that. So, in the abroad, it's launched for $650. So, the FE series was generally around the $500 price point, if I'm not wrong. They increased that there also. For that price, you get a 6.7-inch FHD plus dynamic AMOLED, 2x 120 Hz refresh rate, Gorilla Glass Victus. It's an LTPS display. It's not an LTPO display. Pretty surprising. You get the Exynos 2400E processor, which is basically an underclocked version of their Exynos 2400. Get Android 14 out of the box, 50 megapixel main sensor with OIS, 12 megapixel ultra wide, and 8 megapixel telephoto, 10 megapixel front camera, 4700 mAh battery with 25-watt charging, Wi-Fi 6E, Bluetooth version 5.3, IP68 rating, and the phone is 8 thick and is 213 grams in weight. I don't know what Samsung is trying to achieve with the FE series. The S21 FE was so good, although the price was still high, but at least like it was a good phone. I'm not denying that this is not a good phone, but I don't understand why do they launch it at 60K. I mean, at 60K, you can get the S23 easily. You get the S23 with deals at 40K around, if I'm not wrong, in the BBD sale. The S24 is also has some deal you can get it for around 60K. Why would anyone buy this phone?
I hold the same opinion as you. I feel this phone is nice. It has the Galaxy AI and things. I mean, the formula is always the same, but the pricing is where they are missing out now. And I feel Exynos in itself, I think the first gen came with Snapdragon, the S20 FE came with Snapdragon chipset, and now it has Exynos. So I hope that this one also gets its mid-cycle refresh like the S21 FE got with a Snapdragon processor, because I feel those ones were better. The S23 FE obviously didn't get it, so it's unlikely that's gonna happen. But yeah, 60K is a lot of money. You can get the flagship OnePlus phone at that price. You can get the previous generation flagship phone of Samsung itself. And with discounts, you can even get the iPhone 15 if you want. So, and I think in a year or so, if you wait, even if you wait for one more year, you'd get the iPhone 16 at that price point. So, uh, I really don't know who this phone is for. If it comes down to 35K, then we are talking, because this can easily destroy the 12R when it comes to anything. And OnePlus is also in a kind of like in a low state right now. So Samsung,
Yeah,
I feel Samsung should exploit that and try to get its sales, but they're clearly interested in money making. And anyone who buys this right off the bat when it comes out, I feel like you're just gonna feel like you got scammed, because it is going to depreciate. It's become a fact now that these Samsung phones depreciate, and they also know it. But just to show that when the sales are happening, they just need to show like this much percent discount is come. If it's 60K now and they're selling it for 30K, they can list it in Amazon for
50%.
50%
Yeah.
discount.
And the
So
worst part is on Amazon, sometimes they'll put the original price as 70K and they'll show it as 35K and then still say 50% and things like that. So they do it even in the offline stores, like the S21 FE. When my dad went to buy it, they said that the original price is 70K, but the discounted price is 35K and things like that. So
don't
most
let
people
this
don't
fool
know.
you or whatever. Don't let the fake discount fool you. What you're paying for is not what it's actually worth.
Yeah,
And we
coming to the
can,
Tab
yeah.
S10 series, there's a Tab S10 Plus and a Tab S10 Ultra. There's no Tab S10. That's an interesting move. These are the world's first AI powered tablets, um, and they bring groundbreaking innovations, including flagship performance, enhanced creative tools, and advanced Galaxy AI features. Um, Both the S10 Plus and the S10 Ultra come with AMOLED displays, anti-reflective coating. That's a good thing. It comes on the S24 Ultra as well, and now they've added it to the tablets as well. It's a good thing. Um, the S10 Ultra is a 14.6-inch display, and um, it's the dual 12 megapixel selfie cameras which were there before, and dual rear cameras, 13 megapixel main, 8 megapixel ultra wide. So both video calls and professional photography or scanning documents is a good thing. Uh, Both of them have major advancements in AI processing to offer a powerful, seamless performance. S10 Ultra boosts an 18% CPU boost and 28% increase in GPU, 14% improvement in NPU compared to the predecessor. With extended battery life, super fast charging, S10 series ensures longer usage. Dedicated AI key on the keyboard also allows users to access powerful tools like transcript assist for easy text management and note assist and features like that. Other cutting edge features include sketch to sketch to image and Gemini, which allow for effortless multitasking and creativity. Both tablets come with IP68 rated S Pen, offering precision and unmatched productivity for creators and professionals. S10 series also acts as a home AI device with 3D map view, um, which works with the smart things ecosystem, and you also get knock security. Coupled with a massive 11,200 mAh battery, 16 GB of RAM, 1 TB storage, S10 Ultra is the ultimate companion for work play. The S10 Plus is a 12.3-inch display, 12 megapixel front camera, and the rear camera is the same as the Ultra. 12 GB RAM, 512 GB storage, 10,090 mAh battery, and both the S10 Plus and the S10 Ultra get quad speaker system enhanced by AI powered dialogue boost, which amplifies voices over background noise and things like that. You also get note assist with intuitive S Pen. Then you have PDF overlay translation, handwriting help, sketch to image. Then the Galaxy S Pen's Air command powered by AI features, gives immediate access to Galaxy AI assistant features without the need to switch to menus. AI assistant apps are also easily accessible by the Galaxy AI key on the book cover keyboard. Obviously, you'll have to pay extra for the case, letting users effortlessly switch between Samsung's Bixby and Google's Gemini for personalized AI experience. Galaxy Tab S10 series is designed to seamlessly integrate into Samsung's ecosystem, allowing users to switch effortlessly between Galaxy devices and things like that. Overall, there are the main focus is on the AI features. S10
Tab.
Plus starts at 90,999 for 12 to 56, and 5 if you want the 5G one, then it's 1,04,999, and Wi-Fi model of S10 Ultra starts at 1,08,999.
Yeah, I
But
don't remember the last time I was interested by a tablet device. The iPads have kind of stagnated. The the S series of tabs have always been disappointing because they're always priced wrong, and the iPad always offers it like at it's like the experience is better. And this reminded me of something that Atharv had sent, and I'm trying to use it now. It's like some app where you can take pictures using the Apple Pencil's tap, and yeah, it's working. So I just wanted to try that try that app, but uh, I feel like the whole tab lineup. Do they expect everyone to be walking around with 12.9-inch tablets? Where what happened to the day of like compact tablets like 9.7 inches, 10.1 inches, 8 inches, 6 inches, like the older iPad minis and things like that. I mean, I get that phones are getting really big, but that doesn't mean they need to make bigger tablets also. And 12.9-inch, 14.4-inch displays are like huge. Laptops are 13 inches itself. And this is like they are telling they're giving a tablet that's bigger than the M1, I mean, the M4 MacBook Pro base model. So that's how huge these tablets are. And I don't know what I don't know who this target audience itself is that needs such big tablets on a day-to-day basis. And I won't say spec wise it's bad or anything. The batteries are huge, which even last year the batteries were gigantic of these tablets and things like that. But what happened to
and now
the
you also have
35K?
the AI features and things like that.
Yeah, the AI feature is also nice to have, but I don't know if it's essential, but it's nice to have. So Samsung, I feel like they need to get back to making budget tablets also. The iPads with discount, it's doing incredibly well. And the problem with iPad is once an iPad is bought, it's biting into Samsung's market share more and more because they buy an iPad and then they're like, okay, maybe I should think of an iPhone or something like that. And then the Samsung the Galaxy series lineup also like it's losing its market share. So I feel Samsung really needs to work on that A series tablets. Yeah, they are like Tab A7 and things like that, right? My Siri got
Yeah.
triggered, but yeah. So, but yeah, that Tab A series didn't uh didn't didn't do all that bad. I've seen a couple of people with it. So I think if they're able to bring back like a modern rendition of it, then it would be really a nice like a 20K tablet that they have. I think they have a Tab FE or something that is there, but I don't think that sold well at all. I think everyone's just jumping onto an iPad, and rightfully so, because Apple is actually still giving it proper updates, whereas Samsung is making 1 lakh tablets and only giving those ones updates. So yeah, Samsung, I guess the whole complaint with the brand is they're not focusing on the actual consumers. They're focusing on the ultra rich, which is working also because like a lot of rich people are walking around with these the Z Fold phones and things like that. So I think Samsung is first trying to change its
But
brand perception.
yeah, but since you brought up the Fold, some news on that. I mean, not news. I mean, um, before, like, Samsung was like the only option in the foldables, and um, now slowly more brands have come in to eat their market share. Vivo's X Fold 3 Pro, their foldable, sold 7,000 units in India, so that's a good thing. And also, another news that came up was Honor beat Samsung in terms of foldables in the European market. So Samsung has to really rethink their foldable strategy as well. They're launching uh, very like minor upgrades, thinking that, oh, we don't have any competition, but slowly the competition is rising for them. Even in India, OnePlus Open is there. Galaxy, the Google has also come out with their fold in India. So Samsung will have to buckle up. I mean, I don't know, they're not focused on anything properly. Their S series is the only thing that does well.
I think Samsung took they thought that the competition will take a lot of time to catch up, and they caught up really fast. And I
Yeah,
feel like they're lagging a bit. At least Apple somehow gets away with like gimmicks and shit, like the capture button and things like that. But Samsung is not even bothering to do those type of things. So I don't know what they're having in mind. So we'll move on to the next one, a brand that's very well known for their gimmicks and things. So we can move on to nothing,
nice,
and
nice
it's
segue.
yeah, their new earphone.
So basically, I don't know much about the specs because they never talked about it. The only thing here is that it comes with the open back design, and um, they also said that they made like a lot of innovations in this. I think they have some patent ready. I mean, they're waiting for the patent, but it's like a patent ready
Titanium driver.
titanium driver and things like that. So um, yeah, the price in India is 17,999 at this. Unless you're like a real fan of open ear headphones, then I wouldn't recommend this. You can check out the Sony ones or even the Apple AirPods, and all of those. They'll be way better.
Yeah, but for people that are always concerned about the fit, maybe you don't want your ears to hurt after a bit or something like that. These are good options, especially for people that have been babying the power beats for a long time, and now they're maybe looking for
Mm.
something similar but also different.
And
And
I
I
think
like the
someone,
case design a lot of this one. It reminds me of the
yeah, it's
older,
really thin.
yeah, it reminds me of the older the Apple Watch. When you buy the premium leather straps for the first gen of Apple Watch, it used to come
Mhm.
with a specific case for it. This kind of reminds me of, like, for those of you who have contact lenses, like the
Mm.
contact lens, some brands have boxes like this, so it looks really nice. But obviously with nothing, it's not going to be an easy, something will fall apart or the software will have some issue. And that, because of them being a new brand, that is a given. But if you're someone that has the money to experiment, I would say go for this product. It seems very,
And
very interesting to.
some reviewers compared it to the other open back earphones that are available, and apparently it scored the best in terms of his criteria of judging. So product wise, it's a good thing, but obviously considering all the issues which nothing has faced before, and it being a new brand, I mean, you're taking a risk. But if you're fine with that, the product is good.
Yeah.
Um, Last but not the least, we have Nothing OS 3.0, which is going to be based on Android 15, and there are some new things that they are launching. One of them is their own phone app, or their own gallery app. So basically, they're working on switching to their own gallery app, and they're working on reducing the latency to switch between the Google Photos and their stock app. So they're doing all of those. Then they are also working on some new widgets, and they've redesigned the app drawer. Before, it used to be pretty simple. Now you get the option to stack a bunch of apps together in your app drawer to make it look better. And they're also using AI, so depending on your usage, it'll stack apps in your app drawer and things like that. We'll wait for it when it comes out. And these are a few features which I remember and at the top of my head. And
And
if you want, you can check out
I
the.
remember sending Atharv a video on criticism over the Nothing OS, and I feel they have addressed a couple of things, like the app drawer itself. They said the design was a bit bad compared to Samsung's, and also they had said that the a lot, it is Nothing OS, but a lot of the apps are just plain Google's, which in my opinion it shouldn't be a complaint, but that person complained. So, and now they have released this, and I feel like naming all those things like AI features and all, that's not an AI feature. Apple always had it. Like even in iOS 8 or something, Spotlight Search had the app you open the most. So I feel like a lot of these brands are just repurposing normal features and calling it AI and things like that, just to fool people. But yeah, nothing is not the only one guilty of this. Nearly every brand, maybe even Apple also is guilty of this. Before they used to call it some other, like neural something or something like that. They used to call it, and just get it done
Machine
with.
learning.
Yeah, machine learning algorithms and things that they used to say, and then they used to get away with it. Now they are calling it AI to, so that the layman thinks it's something very futuristic or anything like that. It's just things that they could have implemented a couple of years back, but now because everyone else is doing it, they're just doing the same thing.
So the Nothing OS 3.0 beta will come in October, and the um, further things will come out later as the things go on. The other features which I opened an article now just to check. The lock screen will have more customization for clocks and widgets and things like that. Then the quick settings have been changed. Full customization of icons, including their sizes and things like that. So quick settings is basically when you pull the thing, you get the whole thing. They've also changed the brightness slider, which some people are complaining about. I remember. Then their dot engine typography has been updated and it's been included in more places, like the settings app and all of those now has that text. So that's a good thing. New widgets, countdown widget for dates, shared widgets is another thing which we are talking about, that if you want, like, an event is coming up, and you want that person also to get the thing, or if you want to create an album which is you want to share it, and then you can add that as a shared widget, so that is an option. um, yeah, I think those are all the features which are there on Nothing OS 3.0, and I think shared widgets is an interesting feature. We'll have to see how it's implemented. And yeah, beta coming out in October and final version coming out in subsequent months, December, January.
I think with that we can end this episode. I mean, I would have included more thoughts, but it's already at 46 minutes. So I think with that we'll wrap up this episode. Also, we'll catch you guys in the next episode. Hopefully you had fun listening to this episode, and lots of the topics we didn't go that much in depth with some topics like the meta ones and things like that. But yeah,
Because we didn't know much about it
yeah,
ourselves, like
we
the
ourselves didn't know
whole.
much, and even if we tried to know it, the episode would have gotten a lot more longer. So maybe you guys can check out like videos on your own regarding those type of topics. And with that, we'll catch you guys in the next episode. Yeah.
Bye.